Hello, good evening, and welcome, students. What we have been doing with you, we have done gravitation, we have given many lectures, and also given a revision of the gravitation students. Today, I am going to discuss some important questions for the topic of the gravitation. What we will be doing today, students, there will be questions which will be discussed by us students. What we want to do something important questions on gravitation. The purpose is that we learn, you see how much we have learned from the chapter of the gravitation, how much did we understand from the chapter of gravitation. That is what we want to understand, students. So you will interact with me, you will talk with me, and if possible, try to answer the questions if you know the answers. And you have the notes with you, you have the lectures with you, and whatever we have learned, students, we want to study them again. This is a very good revision of all the chapter of the gravitation. So students, I have first question on the screen which has been asked in the paper, board paper also. First question in this, in the chapter of gravitation, is what do you mean by gravitation, student? What do you mean by gravitation? The question is on the screen. You have 1 minute to interact with me and answer whatever you want. What is a gravitation?
Sir, Sir, Earth attracts all things towards it through an unseen force of attraction, and this force of attraction is known as gravitation.
Okay, good answer. There is something more to it. Only Earth attracts, or every object attracts every other
Sir,
object?
every object attracts.
So question, see the question, what do you mean? What is gravitation? When I say student, we are revising everything. We are revising everything, student. When I say what is gravitation, what is gravitation? Is the gravitation only between Earth and the objects, or it exists between any two objects?
Sir, it exists between any two objects.
Okay, then we can make our definition more clear. The gravitation is a force of attraction between any two objects. It is a force of attraction. We are saying it is a force of attraction between any two objects. Between any two objects, students. It's important that every object is attracting every other object, but how much force is there? It could be very small, so small, negligible that we can't see it, or it could be so big as Earth force of gravitation to others. We can see that we are sticking on the Earth, we are working on the ground of the Earth, students. We are not falling off because the force of gravitation of the Earth is very large, because the mass of the Earth is large, students, and you know that the force depends on which factors. But every object is attracting every other object. Important point. So we are also attracting other objects towards ourselves, but then the objects are not moving towards ourselves because that force is very small. So the magnitude of the force is negligible, therefore we don't experience it. But we say that every object is, students, ठीक है, force of attraction exists between any two object, and that force you already know, it depends on what factor, students, ठीक है. Example, we are saying, example you have given me that moon is orbiting around the earth, planets are orbiting around the solar system, sun. These are all examples and the results of the gravitational force of the earth. Moon is orbiting around the earth. So moon, earth is exerting a centripetal force on the moon due to the gravitational force. Any object which you throw up, it comes back and falls on the earth, student, because earth attracts it with a force which is the gravitational force. And you have seen earth attracts the apple, but apple is also attracting the earth. But Since the mass of the apple is very, very small, we don't experience that. Okay, students. Question number 2, students. It says, state the universal law of gravitation. What is the universal law of gravitation?
So the law of gravitation states that the force of attraction between any two objects is proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them.
Absolutely correct answer has been given by Vidhi, students. That is what Vidhi says, that if there are two objects and if m1 and m2 are the masses of the two objects and d is the distance, then the force of attraction is directly proportional to the product of the masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance, and the law of universal gravitational constant. Combining these two, you get g m1 m2 by d the square. This is a universal law. It is applicable for every two objects, student. It is a universal law. Universal law means applicable for everything. Is not only applicable for earth and objects on the earth. It is applicable when you will land to moon or any other planet. Same thing applies, and between any two objects it operates. Okay, good answer, good answer. Now coming to question 3, students. The distance between two particles is decreased. Will the gravitational force between them increase or decrease? What is your
Sir,
answer?
as gravity is inversely proportional to distance, it will increase.
Will the gravitational force between them increase? The distance between two particles, please read the question carefully. Distance between two particles, there are two particles. These are two particles, student. D is decreased. T is decreased, then what will happen to the gravitational force? F is the gravitational force. So what is the answer now? F is the gravitational force, student. F. What will?
So F increases when the distance R between two particles decreases.
Okay, that is correct answer. Vidhi gives a correct answer. You have already seen F is equal to G M1 M2 by D the square. If D is decreased, what will happen? This F is inversely proportional to D. F is inversely proportional. Distance is decreased. D becomes less, then F will increase. The gravitational force will increase. F increases. So the gravitational force will increase if the distance decreases. Objects which are farther away, their gravitational distance force is less. When they start coming closer, they come nearer, the gravitational force will increase. F is inversely proportional to D the square. Inversely proportional to D the square. D more, F less, D less, F more. That's what we are talking. Okay, now we coming to question 4, student. Iron ball exert a force F on the rubber ball. How much force the rubber ball will exert on the iron ball, students? Interesting question. You have
So
a
the rubber ball also exerts the same force F on the iron ball.
absolutely correct answer. Vidhi, your answer so good and so correct. You have two balls, you are saying, and this is supposing my rubber ball, and this is an iron ball. If the force exerted on the rubber ball, if the force exerted by iron ball on the rubber is F, the rubber ball will also exert equal and opposite force. Equal, what we understood, equal and opposite force. So it will also be the same F4. Correct answer is given by the Vidhi. Thank you very much, Vidhi. Next question before us. Define the universal gravitational constant G.
Sir, the force of attraction between any two unit masses separated by a unit distance is called universal gravitational constant.
Absolutely correct answer has been given by Anya. Your answer is brilliant. Or if we want to see it, we can see F. The formula is there. M1 M2 by D the square. If M1 is 1 unit, M2 is 1 unit. If I am using mass in SI unit, I am using mass is 1 kg. SI unit, it is also 1 kg. SI unit, or in any other unit, I am using 1 unit. And if D is the distance, if SI unit is meter, which we use. So when what will happen then, F, this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, then F becomes equal to G. So that means if you, the force if the gravitational force is the force between two masses which are unit masses and separated by a unit distance. Absolutely right answer given by Anya. Okay, now we move to the next question, number 6. Answer 6, students. Write down the units of G. This question has been asked many times in the exam, students. SI units of
So
G.
nm square kg minus square.
Correct answer given by Vidhi. Your answer, Vidhi, is absolutely right. Newton meter square kilogram minus 2. In any way, let whatever units we want to calculate, students, we are interested to calculate the units of G. Then how do we work out the units of G? We already know G is equal to F D the square M1 by M2. Put the units of force. The units of force is Newton. Units of distance, you are saying meter square SI unit, and mass kilogram into kilogram. So that is the correct answer given by Viri. All right. Now coming to question number 7. What is the value of G? This required some memory part, students.
Sir, it is approximately 9.8 meter per second square.
That is acceleration due to gravity, not the G value. I'm talking of the value of G,
So
gravitational.
6.673 into 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square and kg minus square.
Correct answer given by Vidi. Correct answer 6.6. A lot of in numericals we will be using this value a lot, students. If we can remember it, very good. Usually they will give it in the exams, but we should know the value because somewhere question was asked in this. So the gravitational constant G, capital G, this is capital G, the small g which we calculated for Earth was 9.8 meter per second square. That is acceleration due to gravity, which is different from this G value, G value. In the next question, we have given you the value of G again. He says value of G 6.673, 10 minus 11 Newton meter on the surface of Earth. What is the value of G on the surface of the moon, students?
So the value of G on the surface of the moon is equal to the value of G on the surface of the earth.
Correct answer given by Vidhi. The is a universal. When I say universal gravitational constant, that's why we talked of it. Universal gravitational constant. The value of G is same everywhere. This is not changing, student. This is a constant value. I'm saying universal gravitational constant. Constant means this is not going to change. It is not going to change. Is why we call it constant, means same value. Correct answer given by Will. Okay. Question number 9 on the screen. The gravitational force between two objects on Earth is 2 Newton. What will be the gravitational force between these two objects on the surface of the moon? There are two objects. There is a gravitational force between the two objects. This force is 2 Newton. What will be the gravitational force between these two objects on the surface of the moon? If I take those two objects on moon, what will be their gravitational force, students?
Sir, as the gravitational force depends on the mass and distance of separation, and there is no change in the mass and distance of separation, so the gravitational force remains same on moon.
Correct answer given by Anya. So good, and you could give a very good explanation. So you understood the chapter of gravitation so well. As we have already given the formula, these two objects you can take anywhere when mass is same between and distance remains the same. How does it matter? You can go anywhere. F is not going to change because the value of m1 is same, m2 is same, d is same, and the g is a constant. There is no change. All these values will remain the same. The answer is the force will be the same. The gravitational force will continue to be 2 newtons. It will be same, which is equal to 2 newtons, because F is equal to G m1 m2 by d the scalar. The formula is, now we are able to remember the formula. In fact, it will be used in solving large number of numericals. Student, you are quite intelligent children, that I know. I want to sharpen your mind so that your mind becomes very active and efficient. You would be able to answer any question of physics, any question of chemistry, any question of bio, and you are the future doctors of the country. And your parents don't know, I know about it. So next question, students. State one phenomena related to universal law of gravitation. What is, how do you?
So it is the force that binds us to the earth,
Yes,
and it explains motion of planets around the sun.
yes, correct. And anything
And
more you can
sir,
see? Yes, so many examples.
yes, sir. So it explains the tides due to the moon and the sun, and it
Yes,
explains the motion of the moon around the earth.
yes. And it also explains the atmosphere of the earth. You know, earth has an atmosphere. All the answers were correct. Why do we have an atmosphere? Now you are saying there are air is present on the earth. You see, you have a 200-kilometer atmosphere. If there is no gravitation, what will happen to these gases? These gases will fly off. They will go anywhere. They are still forming, you see, an atmosphere on the earth. Due to the gravitational force of earth, students, if this force is not there, what will happen? They are gone anywhere. They are not there. And when if the atmosphere is not there, we are also not there. We are gone with the wind. तो हम भी उड़ जाएंगे, हवा में सब खत्म हो जाएंगे. तो अर्थ की ग्रेविटेशन तो बहुत हमारे लिए हेल्प कर रही है. Because of that we are living on earth, students, and we are quite stable and have a life. Otherwise the life is not there, as it is in some other places. You know about the universe, how infinite is the universe, students. Okay, all questions answered so well by the student. I can't believe it that you learned it the chapter so well. Okay. That was the story of you people, that you are a good learner and fast learner, students. Fast learner. Okay. More questions are coming. More questions are coming for you, students. The question answer sessions are very good because that helps us how much we understood, student, the topic of gravitation, exercise on gravitation students. So we have to do some brain exercise. Question number 1 is on the screen, student. 1 is on the screen. It says, how does the force of gravitation between two objects change when the distance between them is reduced to 1/2? You have 1 minute to answer the question, students.
Sir, according to the law of gravitation, the force between any two objects of mass m and m is directly proportional to their masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So
Okay.
force of gravitation increases by 4 times when the distance is reduced by half.
Very, very correct answer given by Anya. In the exam, we can show this. We can show this. If F is the force between two objects, I am saying I have two objects, M1, M2, they are separated by distance M2. So the formula for this is F is G by M. And if when the distance is reduced by D, it becomes D by 2, then what will happen? The force will become, this was my F1 force, F2 will become G M1 M2 divided by D by 2 the square. So what will be this? 4G M1 M2 by D the square. So if I divide students, F2 by F1 implies F2 by F1 will be equal to 4, or F2 will be equal to 4 times. That is the correct answer. Correct answer. Got it? Okay. Because in the paper they may say that distance is reduced by 1/5. 1/5. Well, they can give any number, so no problem. Distance is doubled, then what will happen? So this is the formula which we use, student. Question number 2. Gravitational force acts on all objects in proportion to their masses. Gravitational force is acting on all objects in proportion to the masses. You said that Earth attracts apple, but apple is not able to attract the Earth because the mass of the apple is very small. But that doesn't mean apple is not attracting the Earth, but the force is very, very small. Gravitational force acts on all objects in proportion of their masses. Why then a heavy object does not fall faster than a light object, student? Question number 2. You have 1 minute.
So gravitational force acts on all objects in proportion to their masses, but a heavy object does not fall faster than a light object. This is because of the reason that acceleration is equal to force upon mass. As force is directly proportional to mass, acceleration is constant for a body of any mass.
That is the correct answer given by very, very good answer. Very good answer. So the gravitational force is directly proportional to the mass. Force is directly proportional to the mass. But if we will say force is equal to mass into acceleration, then acceleration is force by mass. So the acceleration is nothing but it depends on force by mass. Therefore, the acceleration due to gravity will be same, then A will be same, because if I change the mass, what will happen? The acceleration is in force by mass. So acceleration due to gravity is same. We can say that acceleration due to gravity is the same for heavy object and faster. So heavy and the lighter object, so they will fall basically at the same rate with the same acceleration. Acceleration will be the same which will be experienced by both the masses. Okay, acceleration is inversely proportional to force by mass. Whether you take force, is what it is force m into g, so m cancels, you have acceleration. Next question on the screen. What is the magnitude of gravitational force between Earth and 1 kg objects on its surface? Mass of the Earth is 6 into 10, 24 kg, and radius of the Earth is also given. You
So the
have
magnitude of gravitational force between the Earth and a 1 kg object will be 9.8 N.
9.8. Okay, what is the formula? G. You have mass of the Earth, mass of the object, and you have here distance we can use as a radius of the Earth. If I put these values, what is the value which is given? We already know what is the value of G, 6.6. How much we gave you last time? 7, 3 into 10 minus 11. This value we have already given in Newton meter square kg minus 2. And what is the mass of the Earth and mass of the object? How much is given? Mass of the Earth 6 into 10 power 24 kg, and what is the mass of the object is 1 kg. Okay, this is cancelling, kg is cancelling, and radius of the Earth, what is the radius, students? 6.4 into 10 power 6 into 6.4 into 10 power 6 meter square cancels. I always say that for solving such questions, what we do in exam, I will say, okay, this I am taking around 6.67, I may take as a 6.7 divided by 6.4 into 6.4. You have one more 6 and collect the power of 10. How much is that? Minus 11 plus 24, and this is 6 plus 6, 12, minus 12. So how much is this? Minus 23, and this 10. This value is 10, student. 6.7 into 6, 6.4 into 6.4 into 10. What is the answer given by Anya?
So 9.8 N.
Okay, absolutely right. In the exam, when we show the work, students, 10 powers collect separately, and these values, it is clear from this that 6 and 6.46, and almost they will come to 1, almost equal to 1, and it is only 10. So small, slightly less than 10. See the how do we work out this question? Very good answer. Very good answer. Question number 4, students. Question number 4 on the screen, students. What answer you are giving, student? What answer you are giving for the 4th question?
So the Earth
Yes.
So the Earth attracts the moon with a force equal to the force with which the moon attracts the Earth. This is because, as per Newton's third law of motion, forces of action and reaction are always equal and opposite.
Yes, that is correct. Earth and moon are attracted to each other. Does the Earth attract the moon with a force that is greater or smaller, or the same force as the moon attracts the Earth? Yes, both are attracting each other by the same force. Force of gravitation between two objects is, we have already given the formula, F is equal to G. This is our mass of the Earth and mass of the moon divided by and distance of Earth and Moon, the scale. So it doesn't matter. The force is always the same because the distance between the two remains same. Mass of the Earth is same. Mass of Moon is same. G is a constant. It is not changing. Everything is a constant. From this formula also I can explain. Okay, question answered. Coming to the next question, students. Next question. If the moon attracts the earth, why, if the moon attracts the earth, why does earth not move towards the moon?
Sir, the moon attracts the earth with the same gravitational force as the earth attracts the moon. And since the mass of earth is very large, the acceleration produced is negligible. Therefore, the earth does not move towards the moon.
Actually, earth may be moving, but very negligible. The movement of earth is negligible as compared to movement of the moon. We are not saying it is not moving, but this is moving almost negligible. And we can calculate how much. So mass of earth is how much times the moon. If I know how much time is the mass of the earth to moon, so then 1 by that mass it will be moving towards the moon. If we calculate what is the ratio of the mass of earth to mass of the moon, what is the ratio? If I calculate, can I calculate, students? Let me see. Actually, if we put the values of the mass of earth and moon, you will find that the mass of earth is 81 times of the moon. 81 times. Therefore, the moon is attracting the earth, but the motion is negligible as compared to this due to the fact that motion, the motion of the earth will be 1 by 81 times of the motion of the moon towards the earth. Both are moving towards each other, but how much? The movement of earth toward moon is 1 by 81th time because the mass of the moon is 1 by 81 times of the earth, nearly. Next question. Question number 6. What happens to the force between two objects if the mass of one object is doubled? Question number 6.
So, if the mass of one object is doubled, then the gravitational force between the two objects gets doubled.
Doubled. F is equal to G m1 m2 by d the square. Question number 1. If mass of one object, if I double the mass, then naturally F dash. This is my F1, F2 will become 2 times of F1. This will be doubled. Okay. Next question. The distance between the objects is doubled and tripled. If distance is doubled, then what will happen?
Sir, if the distance between the two objects is doubled, then the gravitational force between the two objects becomes 1/4.
Okay.
And if the distance between the two objects is tripled, then the gravitational force between the two objects becomes 1/9.
Okay. 1 by 3 the square. 3 the square is 1 by 9. Okay. That is the correct answer given by Vidhi. Okay. Now the third part. the masses of both the objects are doubled.
So, if the masses of both the objects are doubled, then the gravitational force between the two objects becomes 4 times.
Correct answer given by the correct answer. It will become 4 times of F1. Okay. 2 into 2. 2 into 2 is 4. Okay. Now we are coming to answer 7. Students, what is the importance of a universal law of the acceleration?
So the universal law of gravitation is highly important as it has made us understand many phenomena such as how different objects in universe affect others and how gravity is responsible for the weight of a body and keeps us on ground and how planetary motion takes place, etc.
All right, correct answer given by Anya. Planetary motion explained, and we are sticking to the earth. Tides, you are saying, due to the gravitational force of moon and moon planetary motion of moon around the earth. Okay. All right, correct answer given by Anya. Next question on the screen, students. What is acceleration of free fall?
So, all objects moving towards Earth on account of gravitational force of Earth on them are said to be in free fall. This force produces a uniform acceleration in the object. This is acceleration of free fall and its value is 9.8 meter second power to minus 2.
All right, correct answer has been given by Vidhi. Absolutely right. Anything, the earth has a gravitational force, therefore it attracts every object toward itself. And the objects which are falling towards the earth, they are called free fall and is accelerated by acceleration due to gravity, which is 9.8 meter per second square. All right, answer question 8. This was our answer 8. Now, why do we call gravitational earth? What do we call gravitational force between earth and moon and the object?
Sir, the gravitational force between the earth and an object is called weight. It is also equal to the product of acceleration due to gravity and mass of the object.
Yes, this is what we call as a gravity. Yes, this is our gravity. Gravity, when I say gravitational force and gravity, the only difference is gravitational force exists between any two objects. Gravity is a word when earth attracts anything towards itself. That is called gravity. So gravity is gravitational force between earth and object is called gravity, whereas a gravitational force is universal. It exists between any two objects. Okay, coming to the next question, student. Amit buys a few grams of gold at the poles as per instruction of one of the friends. He hands over the same when he meets him at the equator. Will the friend agree with the weight of the gold bought? If not, why? Okay. What will happen?
So the value of G is greater at the poles than at the equator. So the weight of gold at the equator will be less than the weight of gold at the poles. So the friend at equator will not agree with the weight of gold bought at poles.
That is the correct answer. We already said the value of G. Students, we have already given a formula for the calculation of G, Gm by R square. So it depends how did you calculate G, mass and R. So it depends on the mass and radius. So naturally it will change with M and R. It is not dependent on the mass of the object. So the value of G varies varies from place to place, from equator to the pole, it changes. Okay. Next question is coming on the screen for us students. Will a sheet of paper fall slower than the one that crumbled into a ball?
Sir, a sheet of paper falls slower than the crumbled one because the surface area of the ball is much lower than that of the sheet. Thus, the upward force exerted by air on the sheet is much as compared to the one exerted on the ball.
Yes, that is what you are saying. Air resistance, or we have told you buoyancy, buoyant force, students. What is the buoyant force? We have told you that fluids have a buoyant force, so do the gases also exert an opposite force, which is the buoyancy of the air. So air exerts upward, air will exert an upward thrust. ठीक है? Which is the what we call as buoyancy. And therefore this resistance is more for where that's for the paper than for the crumbled ball. Correct answer has been given by Anya. Absolutely right answer. Okay. Next answer before you, question number 12. Gravitational force on the surface of moon is only 1/6 as strong as the gravitational force on what is the weight in newtons of 10 kg object on the moon and on the earth. You have one
So
minute.
weight of the object on the moon will be 16.3 N.
What will be the weight on earth?
So 98 N.
Okay, weight is a force is equal to m into g. And how much is the mass of the object is how much? Mass of the object is 10 kg, 10 kg, and mass is 10 kg, and g is 9.8 meter per second square. So the weight on earth, how much? 9.8 into 10, 98 Newton, you are saying? How
Yes,
much?
sir.
And then on earth, and the weight on moon is how much? Then 1/6. What is the answer coming?
So 16.3 N.
Okay, correct answer. That is the correct answer, student. Question number 13 is on the screen. A ball is thrown vertically upwards with a velocity of 49 meter per second. Calculate the maximum height to which it rises.
Sir, the maximum height to which the ball rises will be 122.5 meter.
122 point. Answer number 13 is on the screen. This is a ball. It is thrown and it will stop. Then it will. If this height is h, h is the height to which it rises, students, then what will happen? What is the velocity? Final velocity, initial velocity is how much? 49 meter per second. What is the final velocity? It will become 0 here.
0 meter per second.
0 meter per second. And when it is going in opposite direction, what happens to the value of A equal to G minus 9.8 meter per second. So what is the formula? V square minus U square is equal to 2. We use AS where S is here height. V square minus U square is equal to 2GH here. So we have to calculate the value of H, final velocity 0 and initial velocity minus 49 the square 2 and minus 9.8 into H. How much answer you are getting, students? 1.
So 122.5 meter.
Okay, correct answer given by Anya. That is the correct answer. Calculate the total time it takes to return to the surface of the earth. Student, total time.
So the total time taken by the ball to return to the surface of the earth is 10 seconds.
Okay, how do we calculate, student? This ball is going from here to here. So V is equal to U plus AT, and here the final velocity is 0, initial velocity is 49, and this G value when it goes up minus 9.8 into T. This is the time taken for the ball to go from point A to point B, maximum height. So you can get the value of T, how much it is coming. This is coming how much, students? (49 by 9.8). So how much is that? 90 by 98, 5 seconds. So 5 seconds for going, then it will take 5 seconds for coming. Then total time.
Sir, it will be 5 plus 5 is equal to 10 seconds.
Okay. So it will take 10 seconds for the students. Okay, then we are giving you some homework. As you can see that most of the questions have been answered by you very brilliantly, effectively, and you can do some homework on this. And then we will meet you in our next class, which is going to be a test for you. There will be a test on a quiz next time. We will meet you for a test, and you can do the homework. Rest is a homework for you. And I am so happy that you have been able to answer all the questions which we have asked you in a very good way. That try to make a complete calculation before answering any question, students. No shortcuts are required and they will not work in the exam. Every step is important in the paper. We have to show each and every step, units, everything should be clear. Okay, then bye bye. I will meet you in my next class.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for answering the question so well. Bye bye and see you the next time.